$20 million bet Conor McGregor's wild demand for his UFC return fight revealed. Every comeback has a price, but when it's Conor McGregor, the price isn't just money, it's history. For months, fans have been asking, when is the Notorious coming back? The injuries, the rumors, the cryptic tweets, the whiskey, the Hollywood detours, it all led to one question. What does Conor McGregor really want for his UFC return? Well, the answer just dropped, and it's bigger, louder, and more outrageous than anyone expected. Because McGregor isn't just demanding a fight, he's demanding a $20 million payday, full creative control, and a return so massive it could break the UFC. Let's break down what's really going on behind the scenes of Conor McGregor's long-awaited comeback, and why his wild demand might actually make sense. Chapter 1. The Legend Who Walked Away. Let's rewind. In 2017, Conor McGregor was untouchable. He'd conquered 2 weight divisions, destroyed records, and made MMA mainstream. Then he took a left turn, straight into a boxing ring with Floyd Mayweather. That fight earned him over $100 million. It also changed him forever. Because after you've stood under Las Vegas lights, earned a generational fortune, and fought one of the greatest boxers alive, coming back to the UFC cage doesn't hit the same. For McGregor, it wasn't about belts anymore. It was about legacy and leverage. But even legends fall, and McGregor's downfall came fast. After losses to Khabib Nurmagomedov, Dustin Poirier, and a devastating leg break in 2021, the Notorious aura started to fade. The man who once ruled the fight game was now the one being doubted. So what does McGregor do? He flips the script again. Because when the world doubts him, Conor doesn't retreat, he demands the spotlight. Chapter 2. The longest comeback in UFC history. For 2 years, McGregor has been teasing his return. Training montages, luxury yachts, late-night call-outs, classic Conor chaos. He was supposed to fight Michael Chandler, the all-action former Bellator champion who's been waiting for over a year. The fight was teased on The Ultimate Fighter. Fans expected fireworks, then silence. Medical delays, USADA disputes, scheduling chaos. But now McGregor's comeback is reportedly back on the table. And this time, it's on his terms. Because while Dana White and the UFC want Conor in the octagon, McGregor knows one thing. He's still the biggest draw in combat sports, and that's his ultimate weapon. Chapter 3. The $20 million demand. Here's the bombshell. According to multiple insider reports, Conor McGregor isn't returning for anything less than $20 million. That's not UFC salary, it's a total package deal. He wants pay-per-view revenue, sponsorship bonuses, brand placement, and even a say in the fight's creative direction. Yes, Conor McGregor reportedly wants control over the marketing, the walkout, and even the storytelling behind his comeback. He's treating this like a blockbuster movie, not just a fight. And honestly, it makes sense, because McGregor knows that when he fights, it's not just MMA, it's entertainment. He doesn't just sell punches, he sells a spectacle. Every press conference becomes a show, every quote becomes a headline, every opponent becomes a meme. That's not ego, it's strategy. The last time Conor fought, UFC pay-per-view sales doubled. Sponsors lined up, networks fought for rights, and social media exploded. So when McGregor says he wants $20 million, he's not begging for money, he's charging for impact. Chapter 4. Dana White's Dilemma. But here's where things get tricky. Dana White loves money, but he also loves control, and no one in UFC history has challenged that control more than Conor McGregor. When McGregor fought Mayweather, Dana had to share the spotlight with Showtime Boxing. When McGregor launched Proper Number 12 Whiskey, he became bigger than the sport itself. Now Dana faces a nightmare scenario. He needs McGregor's star power to boost UFC profits. But every time Conor steps back into the cage, he becomes more powerful. It's a balancing act between business and ego. If the UFC gives Conor everything he wants, it sets a precedent. Suddenly, every top fighter will want a piece of the pie. But if they don't, they risk losing the most bankable name in fight history. That's why negotiations have dragged on so long. Because this isn't just about money, it's about who runs the fight game now. Chapter 5. The Opponent Question. So who's McGregor fighting? The obvious answer. Michael Chandler. Explosive style, big name, and a guaranteed highlight reel. But rumor has it, McGregor's camp is pushing for something even bigger, either a Nate Diaz trilogy or a Jorge Masvidal super fight. Why? Because Conor wants a story. He knows that his comeback isn't just about winning, it's about reclaiming his myth. A Diaz trilogy would close the chapter on one of MMA's greatest rivalries. A Masvidal fight would pit two of the sport's biggest talkers in a collision of charisma. Either way, McGregor doesn't just want a fight, he wants a moment. Chapter 6. The psychology of McGregor's comeback. Behind all the showmanship, there's a deeper strategy here. McGregor understands the psychology of fame and scarcity. By vanishing for years, he's made every potential return feel mythic. By demanding $20 million, he signals to fans and to himself that he's still the alpha. It's classic McGregor marketing. Create anticipation, control the narrative, make the world believe you're irreplaceable. Even when he's inactive, he's in headlines. Even when he's not fighting, his name trends higher than active champions. And that's what makes Conor McGregor so dangerous. He doesn't just win fights, he wins attention. And in 2025, attention is the most valuable currency in sports. Chapter 7. The UFC's new landscape. But here's what's changed. While McGregor's been gone, a new generation has risen. Fighters like Islam Makhachev, Sean O'Malley, Alex Pereira, and Khamzat Chimaev have captured the spotlight. The fight game's younger, faster, and hungrier. The UFC has evolved, so has the audience, which means McGregor's return isn't just a comeback, it's a test. Can the old king still rule the new kingdom? If he wins, he rewrites the narrative. The legend returns, the icon resurrected. If he loses, it might be the end of an era. That's what makes this return so risky, and that's why Conor wants it on his terms. The opponent, the stage, and the payout. Because for him, this isn't just about fighting, it's about going out on top. Chapter 8. The $20 million question. Let's look at the numbers. When McGregor fought Khabib Nurmagomedov, the fight generated 2.4 million pay-per-view buys, a UFC record. That event alone brought in over $180 million. When he fought Donald Cerrone, despite being inactive, he still broke 1 million PPV buys. So if McGregor's next fight hits even half those numbers, the UFC makes far more than $20 million. In other words, he's worth it. The real issue isn't the money, it's control. McGregor wants to dictate how the event unfolds, how it's promoted, and even how it's remembered. He wants to be the main character of the UFC again, not just another fighter under contract. And honestly, can you blame him? He built this empire. Without McGregor, MMA might never have become a global phenomenon. He made the casual fan care about fighting. He turned trash talk into art. He turned weigh-ins into theater. Now he wants to turn his final act into a masterpiece. Chapter 9. The legacy play. Every great fighter has a final chapter. For some, it's redemption. For others, it's reinvention. For Conor McGregor, it's about immortality. He knows the window is closing, the sport's evolving fast. But if he can pull off one last explosive comeback, a win that shakes the world, he won't just be remembered as a champion, he'll be remembered as the showman who changed the game forever. And that's what this $20 million demand is really about. It's not greed, it's the price of rewriting history. Because if you're Conor McGregor, you don't come back quietly. You come back with a roar that shakes the entire sport. So here's where things stand. The UFC wants McGregor back. McGregor wants $20 million, total control, and a legacy fight for the ages. Will Dana White give in? Will the deal happen? Or will McGregor walk away, taking the fight game's biggest payday with him? Either way, one thing's certain. When Conor McGregor finally steps back into the octagon, the world will be watching. Because love him or hate him, the notorious always wins the moment. So what do you think? Should the UFC pay Conor McGregor $20 million for his return fight? Is he worth it, or is this the ego of a fallen king? Drop your thoughts below, and if you love deep dives into the wild world of combat sports, hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon. Because the fight game's about to get loud again, and Conor McGregor's back in the center of it all.